All right, so bench pressing. There are many ways to improve your bench press, but here's one way that I found that helped me as a natural lifter. So the way that I thought about the bench press, especially with the flat barbell, is that there are three components to it. The first one is getting it off your chest, when you're at the bottom. The second is the pathway upwards. And three is the lockout. So how do we get better at these three components of the bench press? Well, number one, getting it off your chest. Pause reps help a lot. Do a lot of pause work. When you lower the bar down to your chest, pause for a second or two, push it back up. Do a lot of those. And for the second part, the path upwards. This is the challenging part. This is where most of your range of motion occurs. So you want to be able to push it through this very difficult and challenging part of the rep. So what helped me was just doing a lot of reps, doing 5x5, doing 4x6, doing 3x8, whatever. That, along with a lot of dumbbell work, either incline dumbbell or flat dumbbell. Why do I say this? Dumbbells are very heavy in a way that, you require not only strength, but also stabilization. And that makes the path upwards for a dumbbell press, whether it's flat or incline, a little bit unpredictable, but it forces you to be strong and it forces you to be coordinated. Lastly, the lockout. Two ways to do it. My favorite ways to do it are weighted dips and close grip bench press. Those are really good for your triceps, and they really help you with the last part of the bench press. So yeah. So you may be wondering, how the hell am I going to squeeze all of those chest exercises in 1 week or one regular routine? Here's an example of a good routine that you can do. 3 times a week, benching 3 times a week. Or, chest related building 3 times a week, okay? Not too crazy, not 4 times a week, not 5 times a week, only 3. Very doable for anyone. And it's a very similar amount of volume that you would do if you were to do chest for 2 days a week, okay? Very straightforward. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example, just an example, 3 days a week, right? You have a good amount of rest in between for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, you do close grip, work on your lockout. Wednesday, you work on, let's say pause reps. Let's do a 5x5 with lightweight, 225 for pause reps, 5x5. Work on the pause. And Friday, I don't know, dumbbells. Do dumbbell work on Friday. And how many sets per day? Let's say 5. 5 good sets for each one. Monday, 5 sets of, close grip. Wednesday, 5 sets of pause reps, 5x5 for example. And then at the end, Friday, 5 sets of dumbbell work or more barbell work if you so please, rather than dumbbell work if you want to work on that kind of volume, I guess. And the way that I like to schedule my progress towards, benching 315 or benching above 315, which I haven't done fucking yet, weak as shit. Progressive overload. If you are struggling with the regular flat bench press on the barbell, try to progressively overload on those other 3 exercises that help you with the different aspects of your bench press. For example, get better at dips. Progressive overload on weighted dips, or close grip bench, or weighted dumbbell bench press, incline dumbbell, or even pauses. Get longer pauses, get heavier pauses, for example. What I'm trying to get at is that there's a lot of ways to make progress in building a good bench press, and you just got to think a little bit systematically. What part of the bench press am I struggling at? What muscles are involved at that part of the bench press? What skill or movement do I need to practice to get better at that part of the bench press, for example? Anyways, that concludes my short tutorial. I guess it's not really a tutorial. It's just kind of just bro science advice. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am not a personal trainer by any means. My strength isn't very special compared to other people on YouTube and shit. But it's not a bad framework to use to, progressively overload, get stronger triceps, get stronger shoulders, get a stronger chest. It's something to try out if you're having a little bit of a plateau. So go for it. And now the rest of the video will basically be like a vlog of me putting my words into practice and such. So let's start off with some dumbbell work. Why not? So to prep for this workout, especially with a heavier push day, kind of like chest day, anything above the hundreds on dumbbells fucking scares the shit out of me for incline press. So I gotta fuel up. So what I got here, Haribo candy, peaches. These are so damn good. And I also got a G Fuel 300 milligrams. I got this at Dollar Tree for $125. So feeling pretty good. Couple swigs of that before heading to the gym. Couple pieces of this to get the blood sugars high. Just some quick acting sugars. wanted to get 10 reps of that pause because my last record was 9 pause on the 105s, but I guess we're gonna have to go a little lower now. So funny enough, I actually tried 315 again on flat bench at a lower body weight because last time I hit 315 when I was weighing 194. Right now I weigh 185, and I tried to hit it another time on flat, but you're gonna see what happens. Two attempts. I took 2 attempts at 315 at my body weight, and I didn't get either of those attempts. And what really frustrated me was that the first attempt, I almost locked out all the way, and I hated myself because my dang triceps did not just go the extra mile and just finish the dang rep of 315. So the next day I came back, or not the next day, but like a few days later, I came back to crunch, and I was like, you know what? My triceps are not going to be weak anymore. I got to work on my close grip again. So after hitting that 275 close grip with a slight pause with a band, by the way, I mean, it wasn't like super tight. It was like a 50-pound band, but I guess it was like a tiny bit loose at the bottom. But nonetheless, that was really helpful for like forcing me to lock out against extra resistance in addition to 275 pounds on bench press. So I was feeling pretty confident. So went back, tried 315 again, and this is what happened. As you can see, I was able to hit 315 again. I am a little disappointed in that I didn't pause for like a little bit longer because I felt like it was like a soft pause where it's like, ooh, touch, slight pause, up, you know? It wasn't like a hard pause, like complete bar, like stationary, and then started to move up. It was more like down, pause, up, you know? It's a little disappointing, but hey, I'll take it, you know? I mean, I am at a lower body weight. I didn't use wrist wraps this time. And, you know, 315 is 315, even though I didn't pause it as long as I wanted it to. But, you know, it will come with practice. I'll keep practicing with 295, 300, 315. I'll keep practicing until I could get it for a solid pause. And that's when I know, like, you know, I'll be able to, like, hit even higher numbers later on when I continue to bulk up to, like, the 190s again. Alright, that'll do it for this video. Hope you learned something new, or hope, you know, something in this video helped you out in terms of benching or, I don't know, shit like that. Peace out.